Peace, this is Star with a Star Blooms. I want to give a disclaimer. Um, I'm going to be sharing like a series of messages. Um, I literally heard this channel. Before I share these next couple of messages, know this. You have all personal authority when it comes to consuming any of this, okay? If you require or find yourselves in seats of desire or despair, know that it's fair game, that you receive what you please. Okay? Get your lessons, boo boo. Because I got mine. I took my time getting my lessons. I didn't force things to fit. You shouldn't feel called to force or convince to concede in hesitancy. All right? If it's resistance, stop. Go within where all you have and all you require is present. Okay? A lot of the times we feel strongly convinced to persuade ourselves in positioning certain rates in order so we could basically feel like we're in time with something or someone else. And it's not necessary, okay? Um, and I wanted to share that because I feel like that's what I've been sitting with for the last couple of days. The first thing I got was I got like 5 different words, and they've just been like everything's been pouring in. But I recognize in one of the spaces that I was sitting with, which was disassociative memory and processing different rates of what I was in my head contemplating whether or not I needed to digest it, right? Was just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And then the word silence came. Now, a lot of the times as channelers, we immediately believe and we give power to groups, to people, and we say things like, somebody's trying to shut down my throat chakra. And a lot of the times it's true. We're reading that, we're saying this for a reason, but we give power to that based off of our focus. When I heard silence, and I heard it immediately after, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I basically wanted to sit with it because I know as a Gemini sun, capped up in this house too, in 11th house at that, I'm always at this rate of speaking and projecting, but not in a way to where I'm putting it on to other people. I'm participating in petitioning for myself by abracadabra, creating as I speak. Okay. Silence is unique. When I basically sat with silence, it's a 22-4, y'all. It's a powerful, powerful major balance in silence, okay? When I sat with it and I basically started to look up the definition and all of that good stuff, I seen that it's the absence of not forbearance from speech, as what you say is clear instruction and never noise. And then I seen the etymology and it says is a chosen state of being. Be quiet or still. The saying is silence is golden. And I basically sat with that for a couple of days. A divine mineral is what I process as far as golding, something that attracts red mercury. I don't know why. I've basically been sitting with that. But gold is an extremely high vibrational mineral. Okay, why does all of this matter? What is the key? A lot of the times people wonder if my messages are random, and they definitely are not. They are all coming back to the inner child and rates of basically recognizing where you're at with your inner child and how to gather yourself at a higher rate in your being. Okay. When I first came into connection with processing that my desire was to have receipt of my inner child and to not be at a rate of being controlled, I recognized that my inner child's chosen rate of speech was coded with keys for me. And that there was a voice of authority that reigned supreme through many different channels. And then I have like this, I smile so much when I think about my kid because I know that regardless of whatever, oh goodness, y'all, 3 yellow birds. I've never seen, okay. And I don't sit right here when I do my messages. I'm sitting here and I'm just looking out the window and it's so beautiful. It's white fly. Okay, focus. Anytime I sit and I basically envelop in my daughter and her ancient mentality and just how she shows up in her being 555, I'm in such a rate of experience and recognizing how being present with her allows me the ability to see all of the things that I may not be able to fully interpret within myself, if that makes sense. And I recognize as kids, as tots, we envelop many truths upon many different layers on many different levels, okay? No matter what our journey or our voyage is going into self, there will always be many adversaries that will challenge our authorities. And I see this the most with my daughter because she's a life path 7, but it's a karmic 7 that she is. And for those who are in numerology, 16 is a karmic number. Okay. Um, I'm not telling my baby's business, but I just want y'all to be able to process this. There's a rate that my baby knows and understands beyond my wisdom, beyond my positioning, beyond my posture, and beyond any rate of authority that I may want to take over her that could create a positioning of like clash if I didn't honor and respect what she had to pour into me. I honor and I respect it. And it's something that I've had to learn. It's not something that I always had. We've worked towards this rate with each other, but it's taken me to be silent. And it's taken me to be at the rate of knowing that just because I could teach it to her doesn't mean that I should teach it to her. She gets to have her opportunities. She gets to have her experiences. And I don't want to be that reign of authority that sits within her or over her, wanting to boost my narrative or create my conditionings that out manage or will out maintain the trains that sometimes become tracks in our minds, in our vessels, because we don't allow ourselves to be full and whole within ourselves. I hope I'm making sense. When I was told to take a moment to sit still and be silent these last couple of days, I immediately thought about you all. I thought about my messages. I thought about 818. I thought about wanting to share. I thought about I've been doing so good. I don't want to feel like I'm falling off. And I recognize even in the rate of petitioning for not wanting to basically step back, I had given myself a rate of responsibility that required me to basically participate beyond what it was that I desired or even required for me. And a lot of the times, if you're dealing with kids, you have the opportunity to perceive these things because kids will show you based off of their actions and what they're focusing on and what they're contributing to, what it is that they truly, truly want. Okay. Sometimes we're called to be silent, not because we are being attacked or our throat chakras being forced to shut down. Sometimes it's being silent because we are being called to hermit ourselves at a different rate that we may not have previously understood because we are transforming. And in transitions, you have the opportunity to take on so many things that could be pulled into your vortex. However, you have a responsibility to the conditioning that is occurring within you because of the work that you've done and the ability to allow that to grow and to bloom the way that it desires is a true key that you will receive if you allow yourself to be present and still within it. I'm going to come back with the next messages. Peace. I love y'all. Continue to follow, like, share, and comment. This is Star.